are some amazing decks in the game right now that can change how you play Yu-Gi-Oh! And today, Chad and I will be revealing some of those important secrets, but I'll also be putting personal deck lists on my Patreon as a special thank you for helping me pay my editors. Let's jump on in. All right, chat, I have 5 different Yu-Gi-Oh! Decks that I think are phenomenal, but I always want to hear what you guys have to say and what people put down below in the comment section. What do you guys think is really good for Maze of Millennia right now? Fluffle best deck? I think the Earthbound Immortal support is going to be amazing. He's right. So Yu-Gi-Oh! Players have been playing around with Earthbound Immortal, and I think they figured out a version of the deck that is crazy. Have you guys heard of Earthbound Runics? I feel the same way. So the reason why Earthbound works so well is because of harmonic synchro fusion. It allows you to be able to fusion summon and synchro summon, and runics have some distinct properties that allow you to do both easily. Take, for example, you can activate any runic card to be able to summon Slepler to your side of the field as a fusion level 9 monster. And then you have your level 1 Earthbound monster, which allows you to be able to synchro summon into a monster like Butter on the Floor, but also summon a fusion monster like Predaplant Dragostapelia really easy. All right, I need to hear about this deck. Bro, it's cool, isn't it? It's really cool to see that a deck can successfully summon some powerful synchro and fusion monsters, but on the other hand, it's still runic. Fortunately enough, there is still another deck that can summon level 9 fusion monsters and still synchro summon, and that's Chimera. Chat, Chimera Earthbound may be just as powerful too. The reason why Chimera Earthbound can work in almost the exact same way, because Chimera Earthbound can fusion summon into Guardian Chimera. Guardian Chimera can destroy your opponent's cards, draw cards, and just so happens to be a level 9 fusion monster to synchro summon, which are level 1 Earthbound, and also fusion summon still into Predaplant Dragostapelia. Chimera Earthbound is going to be way better than any runic variant. I really do hope, and I'm actually excited to play that version of the deck because Guardian Chimera is one of my favorite cards. You know, additionally, if you do add the Earthbound strategy into Chimera, it helps you dodge Dimensional Barrier too, because now you're synchro summoning, so that might be a thing. Fluffle Earthbound makes Ib easy and makes 1 to 3 negates while playing around negates? Wait, what? Holy crap, Fight for Cruel is a level 9. Fluffle Earthbound might actually be a good Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck. Basically, when it comes to Earthbound, if your deck can fusion summon into some powerful level 9 monsters, then you always have the opportunity to summon a Butter on the Floor and a Predaplant Dragostapelia, and I think those top 3 cards, or top 3 strategies, are great contenders. Can Dino Earthbound Immortal be gas? I don't know. I think you guys are now you're pushing the limit. Pure Sinful Spoils is getting a monster that dodges traps that activate from the hand. It has to be set, so Pure Sinful Spoils is shaping up to be meta. When Phantom Nightmare comes out, definitely. Kashtira Hilarious has become a rogue deck that people haven't been paying attention to anymore. Determination, I got you one better. So for the last couple of weeks, I've been saying that Kashtira is an incredible Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck. I kinda lie. Kashtira is still an incredible Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck, and you can play the pure version. It could be successful, but there is a better version. Chat, I know I may have talked a little bit of trash about it, and it is kind of expensive, so it don't fit on the budget tier list, but Scareclaw Kashtira. I am in a group with some of the top players in Yu-Gi-Oh! And you won't believe all of the crazy things that they're willing to try out. There was actually a Scareclaw Kashtira version that caught my attention because it did not play any of the bad Scareclaw cards. And guys, you know exactly what I mean by the bad Scareclaw cards. Come on, let's be real. Those aren't good. So the reason why Scareclaw Kashtira works is because it works similar to Manadia. You get to play all of these cool cards and some powerful monsters like Vicious Astrolaud, but you get to keep more in line to your Kashtira engine. This means monsters like Kashtira Fenrir and Unicorn can pose really big threats, but one of the unsung heroes in Kashtira is Kashtira Scareclaw. The choky big boy that summons itself in defense and attacks like a super heavy. The Scareclaw Kashtira deck does have some really cool plays though, being able to easily make monsters like Butter on the Floor and SP Little Knight, while also still gaining the effects of Kashtira Unicorn and Fenrir. It's a very explosive deck that takes advantage of all of the secret hidden effects between both strategies. Your Horus Therion deck, checked out that video, gets a huge upgrade. Well, number one, it does. It does. You know what? I think that deck could be a lot stronger, but there is another Horus deck that people are not paying attention to. If you guys didn't know, the OCG is always coming out with some monstrosity, and this one's just as bad. There is allegedly, well, not even allegedly, there is a Light and Darkness Dragon Horus deck that players are using, and it's kind of sick. The reason why is because the Horus monsters can summon themselves without triggering Light and Darkness Dragon's effect to negate, and are very powerful monsters. Light and Darkness Dragon in itself is a 4 negation card. Also, when Light and Darkness Dragon is destroyed, you can summon a monster from your graveyard. But here is the crazy thing that I think that the OCG players have not caught on. So one of Light and Darkness Dragon's biggest weaknesses is that if your opponent activates 2 effects in response to one another, then Light and Darkness Dragon won't be able to stop the second one. You can take full advantage of that is when Light and Darkness Dragon can't negate a card effect, or if you wanted to be able to negate on the next upcoming turn, you would activate a card like Forbidden Chalice to negate Light and Darkness Dragon and bring its attack all the way to 3,200. That means on the next turn, Light and Darkness Dragon will be back to 2,800 attack and can negate 3 more cards. Also, Forbidden Chalice is really good at stopping monsters like SP Little Knight because that's a card. Wait, people are using Light and Darkness Dragon again? Yes. They're also playing Floodgates like Summon Limit, but I mean, you got Light and Darkness Dragon and Horus monsters. I think that that's really powerful in itself. Do you think it's possible for Light and Darkness Dragon to work with both Honest and Dark Honest? Okay, so hear me out. It doesn't sound like the worst idea. I don't think it's gonna work. What's also really good about the Horus monsters is that you can mix them with other strategies. You can play them with decks like Phantom Knight, Orcus, or even the Resonator monsters. There's so many opportunities for this deck to be really, really good. Battling Boxers obviously became the new meta with its new spell card. And here I thought the Light and Darkness Dragon thing was copium. Oh, another thing that I've been noticing is that players have been picking up cards like Majesty and Vanity's Fiend. And the reason why is because you can easily summon a Horus monster and then tribute it from one of those. So if you are playing Light and Darkness Dragon decks, you got another tribute monster you can summon too. Flame Swordsman? Yo, hold on, timeout chat. Flame Swordsman is actually way better than you think. Like, seriously. I thought that Flame Swordsman was a budget deck, and it is a good budget deck, but I have shown the way of expensive Flame Swordsman. So if you got the moolah, you're playing a really, really good deck. Flame Swordsman Sweep, Flame Swordsman Cook. Yeah, Joey finally has a good strategy here. So the idea of Flame Swordsman is with one card, you can fusion summon into Ultimate Flame Swordsman and get it equipped, which allows you to destroy during either player's turn. That's good, but there was a strategy that just recently got hit on the ban list that becomes better because of it. The Infernal monsters don't involve any fusion summon whatsoever. They're a Synchro and Link-based Yu-Gi-Oh deck, but they also happen to be Fire Warrior and can summon themselves or take advantage of monsters be equipped with equipped cards. So all I gotta say is that these two mesh really well, and if you combine it with Diabellstar Engine, we've cooked! Rest in peace to anybody that can't afford a Diabellstar Engine. Flame Swordsman may be extremely versatile and heavily used in multiple decks given this diverse format. I would not cut that off. It's still a good strategy to implement instead of other strategies. But the reason why I said Flame Swordsman, Diabellstar, Infernoble is because after you Flame Swordsman combo, it sets up for your Infernoble monsters to summon themselves, Synchro Summon, and still make a board. Essentially, you don't need Isolde Two Tails of the Noble Knight to be able to make really good negation boards with Charlemagne and Charles and Ultimate Flame Swordsman, as well as the cards in hand. Dinomorphia? You know what? It did get transaction rollback, but is that enough? Labyrinth goes wild with transaction rollback. You are not wrong. That deck does get way better. Ironically, Bonfire does nothing for any other strategy in Yu-Gi-Oh right now. What's crazy about Bonfire is that while it is a very expensive card, the only application that it has for at this current second is Volcanics. The good thing is that Volcanics is crazy good. Volcanics are bad? He doesn't know. Volcanics are incredibly good because it's actually a deck that's amazing at board break. Utilizing the Volcanic Trap card and Volcanic Scatter Shot, you can not only burn your opponent for a ton of damage, you can also destroy their entire board. Do you think it's possible for Rescue Ace to work with Volcanics? That's the crazy thing about Volcanics. Rescue Ace Volcanic, Fire King Volcanic, while the engine of Volcanic isn't necessarily small, when you combine it with some of these other fire strategies, it works incredibly well. Not to mention cards like Volcanic Shell allow you to be able to use it for your requirement cost for a ton of effects. Like if you were using the effect of Fire King Island and didn't want to necessarily destroy a card, Shell was your best bet because you can always just get another one to your hand. Or if you're discarding it for something like King Sarcophagus, just add another one to your hand. Don't forget Fire Recovery. Holy! Yo, Fire Recovery is crazy. Not wanting to destroy a card in Fire King, sometimes you actually don't want to destroy certain cards at certain points in time. So destroying a Volcanic Shell it's still a fire monster that's destroyed to trigger your Garudix. And that's all that we got for some secret meta decks that you don't know about. I'm excited for Maze of Millennia. Chat's excited for Maze of Millennia. And I can't wait to see what you have to say about some other strategies. Of course, if you want to see more amazing content, be sure to check out these videos so I can catch you on the next one. Title better be chat makes me show my hairline against my will. There's no way. You guys are not subbing for this. How many subs do I need? 20. Bro, what is going on? All right.